Hi traders, so in today's video I will show you some technical stuff because I did it a long time ago because I'm always traveling and living life, and I mostly trade with my EAs, and now I am working on a new EA, but it will take a long time until until it will be just perfect, so I can publish it, and it might be, I don't know, might be just next year when I will publish it, but I'm just working on it, and I am at the middle steps with the EA. So I've already coded most parts, and I've already did the most of the strategy work. So I put together the right elements, and I coded a really complex price action pattern for the EA, but to make a robot that is not a scalper and not some bullshit martingale or grid or day trader EA, and that is working even with really good risk to reward ratios. Let's be honest, you won't see many robots with these features on the market, because most EAs and the most expensive EAs as well are scalping bots, and we know that they are not working. They are just some gambling to some entertainment. They have entertainment value, but to actually make a robot that makes money, that is a so complex work that is ridiculous. Because imagine if it would be easy, big banks and all the hedge funds, it would be just fucking easy for them to make money, but it is not easy for them either. And I don't know why everybody thinks that if they have a fucking scalping bot, they figured out life out, because it didn't work that way. So yeah, let's see the back test. Hi guys, so let's start this test. Now, as you see, I will test this EA in MT4, and I will test it for almost 20 fucking years with tick data. And so these are my inputs that are currently in the EA. I have a great risk to reward ratio with stop loss and take profit percent, and above that dynamic exit. So also, as you see, I let the core engine price action parameters and also the dynamic exit parameters freely adjustable. And also I programmed a time filter and a minimum amount of time where the EA can actually close the trades, and it is just extremely important. So now, as you see, we started the backtest, and it is just, I hope it will be just really useful for you and an eye-opener, because this is basically a forex robot that is entirely based on trend trading, but not with the overused indicators, but with really complex price action patterns. And as I said, it is not done. This EA is under development currently, so don't I just want to show you the progress of how to make an EA. It is not a short period of time if you want to make something that is actually working. In fact, it is one of the toughest things because it would be really easy to code a scalping bot. I can make a scalping bot that has a perfect chart in with this experience in, let's say, 10 minutes. But with optimization, give it 30 minutes. But if you want to make something that will actually work on a real live account, and not just for a couple of months but for years to come, and for trend trading, so not just for some for 2 months, let's say, as the scalpers work, you have to put really just insane amounts of time into it. And it is completely okay, because if you think about it, if people, if it would be easy to make a great EA and make a living with it when you are on the road, you are traveling, or you're working with your family, then there would be no person in the right mind working in a fucking factory or something like that. It takes an insane amount of time and passion and effort and reasoning ability, so logic, and some intelligence as well, to create something like this, something like a real price action EA or a real trend trader EA with indicators. So as you see, the take profit and stop loss levels are based on two things. The first thing, or three things. So the first thing is the front line, and that is a price percent based stop loss and take profit that has a approximately 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, and it all depends on the current on the given market situation, how the EA will close these trades. So it is not a fixed stop loss and take profit. It is a dynamic stop loss and take profit that calculates it based on the given the current situation of the markets. And it is really important to use these types of take profit and stop losses along with fixed ones, because they can actually give a boost to your strategy, to your EA, because especially if you want to use it long term, because as you might imagine, in a 20-year period, EAs or rather the market changed so much that if you want to use it with a the only fixed stop loss and take profit, it is just insane. You won't get enough trades to be profitable. That's the first. And the second is that it will be outdated in a few years, and then if the EA can't change it, and so it won't work. And if you create an EA and you code actually dynamic parameters to it, dynamic price action based or volume based stop loss and take profit to it, you will have an advantage over the market. because you will train the EA to 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 for a situation where it doesn't just only know a couple of months of data, but it knows a 20 years of 99.9% tick data, and it's it it actually works much better in forward test than the ones that are without these dynamic parameters. And it is a really big thing when statistically, when you have a risk to reward ratio that is at least 1 to 2, or it really depends on the market situation, because the at least 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio is I relate it to the as the average. So it doesn't mean that every time you will have a twice as big TP than stop loss, but on the average you will have. And it is especially just it is just a key in EA trading. And the other thing is that you don't always want these things. So you can't be so conservative that you always have to have a 1 to 2, at least 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. I mean that not in average. In average you always want that, and you should be conservative in that area. But when you have different market situations, sometimes the dynamic exits will close your trades in just the right time, that it won't turn to loss, because the system is trained for long-term trading and it knows that in the long term it will make money, or rather it, but the system just follows a dynamic rules, and that is better than fixed ones. Now the other thing is, I coded a system in this EA that is the following, and I coded alongside with these dynamic stop loss and take profits a dynamic exit that is different for buy and sell trades. And it is because the markets in terms of long and short trades are asymmetrical. And so I coded complex price action pattern to close the sell and buy trades, and also I coded a little part where it can't close your trades just just let's say right away when something happens. And it is really, so it has a parameter that counts the minutes that after the trade was taken. And let's say you set it to 30 minutes, and that means that the robot can't close the trades before 30 minutes after it was taken. So, and it is really important because it is just a small thing, but if you don't do this, an EA can blow your account when the market is not quite right. And this way it can't blow your account ever, because you have safety features. And also they are safety features, and I use them as such because I don't want to blow my account, obviously, and others, but these parameters are really helpful when you want to forward test and optimize, and then forward test your EA to train it to the live markets, because it is proven that these parameters mathematically can help reduce the losing trades. and not just the account blowing events. So they are really, really helpful. And so I hope you find this video useful, because you know, many people think that coding EAs is really simple, and it is, or at least creating strategies is really simple, because not many people, you know coding, or coding languages rather. But um, it is not easy to figure out strategies that are working. It is easy to make gambling robots. It is really easy, and most sellers, scammers do that. But to make something that has a good risk to reward ratio, and has dynamic exit parameters, and real, and just a real strategy, that is fucking tough. And I've tested like thousands of EAs, and almost none of them worked on real live you know forward testing. And when I back tested them with my system, they just didn't work, because the way I backtest my EAs, they are really cruel. And as you saw, I put a 30 to the spread section. And actually, as you see, the spread on this pair uh, is is almost zero all the time. It is, one or two or three. But I quite stress test these my strategies, because if I don't do that, how the fuck would I know if they actually are real work in every situation? And you know the situation is that, for me, it is that I trade with my EAs, so I have to make them as good as I can and pure everything to it. And of course, sellers who aren't using their EAs, they won't think about it twice. They just put out some trash, shit, and they don't think about it. But I have to spend years to develop an EA that is actually working and can trade for me, because I don't want to always just look at my computers and stuff. So it is important for me to actually have an EA that I can trust. And as you see, I tested with zero mismatch errors, and it is the first test of this EA. And I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you, and for you to actually code an EA that works for long term. And I recommend for you to test your EAs for at least 15 years, because, and with high quality tick data. And one other thing that I coded, actually, I coded time filter to this EA as well, because I think that is one of the most important features in optimization and in forward testing, and actually for good live results. And one of the most important things that I want you to remember, that trading forex is asymmetrical for long and short trades. And so don't fall for that that you always make symmetrical parameters for long and short trades, because live data shows that it is not the case in forex. And so, for example, with my time parameter, that gives me or the EA the possibility to adjust when it will trade in a day. For example, from 1 a.m. to 2 p.m. It is adjustable differently from buy and short trades, because it is proven that in a day there are different times when it is worth it to short and to long, to take long. So yeah, this was this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it interesting that I give a glimpse into the how I develop and test my EAs. And yeah, if you want more of these videos, just tell me and I will, make some. Ciao.